Welcome back, everyone. It is great to see our friend Nathan McCartney from Arctic Food Equipment and our new friend Ben Wooten from Tiny Finn's Survival Swim. So, Nathan, for maybe someone that might be passing through Springfield, watching our show, or just first-time viewer, tell us about Arctic Food Equipment and then your association.
Yeah, so we're Arctic Food Equipment, and we always bring in restaurants, right? We're always cooking or doing something fun because we do a lot of commercial food, whether it's fryers, ovens, walk-ins, all that kind of stuff, and that's usually what we talk about. But we also do air conditioning. We do HVAC, so heating, air conditioning, ventilation systems, all that kind of stuff. Dad's been doing this kind of thing for 35, 40 years, so he's got a ton of experience. We can kind of engineer all kinds of different solutions. And so I thought it'd be kind of neat to bring in maybe a more unique customer. You know, like I said, you always think of us with the restaurants, but we've got to work with Tiny Finn's. They've got 2 indoor swimming pools in a building, so we had to figure out how to handle moisture and keep the temperatures the right range and keep humidity levels good, and working with Ben, and that was just kind of a neat project. So I thought, hey, let's bring them on, and then also they have such a cool business. It's unique around here. I don't know that there's really anyone else doing it, and it's such a valuable thing that we thought it'd be a good opportunity.
Well, speaking of, then can you tell us about Tiny Finn's and what you do? Because I'll be honest, I hadn't heard of this. I don't have children though either, but it's amazing what you're doing.
Yeah, we teach swim and survival for really all ages, but we specialize in children. We start at 6 months, and we do have some parent-taught classes, so you can get in with your child, and it's just a gentle introduction into the water. And typically around the 1-year mark is when we'll start most kids in the survival swim. But we do have all ages. We've taught adults, we've taught teenagers, we teach older children. And once they kind of go through the program and get the skills that we're teaching, then we can move them on to more advanced classes and teach them some strokes and proper breathing, proper techniques and things like that as well.
I'm curious it makes sense. Like, if you're in the water, you want to know how to stay above. But what are some of the survival techniques that you teach?
Well, so everything we teach is kind of in a horizontal plane. So we either teach them to float on their back and be calm, or we teach them to put their face in the water and swim somewhere. The older ones, we're going to teach them how to swim to safety. The younger ones, we teach them to float until they can be rescued, basically.
Saving energy as well, probably.
Yes, and that's, the babies are, you know, we've kind of hit our specialty there with the younger ones, but
I think our kids started around 9 months.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
somewhere around there. And so that's kind of how we started this whole thing, but as we've grown and developed our programs and things like that, we've added some more advanced programs for.
It's a really cool program because we actually have a pool at our house, and so one of the biggest causes of death is drowning. And so you're thinking, you're like, well, these are involved parents, these are good families, like these aren't, you know, somebody that's just high on drugs and their kids die. Like, we're talking like normal everyday Americans.
Yeah.
So we were really worried about it, and this is really the last line of defense. Like, you should still lock your door, you should still have the fence, like do all the things, but I mean, kids are crazy and they can find a way in, and so this gives them an opportunity to hopefully stay alive long enough for you to rescue them and that kind of thing. It's definitely not like, oh yeah, cool, throw your kids in and home. It's just one more layer of protection.
Right.
Sure. Oh, I thought you were going to follow up with that.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Kind of what he said. It is the #1 cause of death in children ages 1 to 5, accidental death.
Right.
And it's really becoming a problem, and so this is just, like he said, one extra thing you can do to try to protect yourself, protect your kids.
I mean, I remember being a kid and just the floaties were barely on, and I'd just be like, whoa, right into the pool. So, you know, kids, like you said, they move quick, and you can take your eyes off for a second, you know?
Oh yeah, we have stories about that all the time.
And first of all, too, tell us about working with Arctic, though, and this team over here, these guys.
So there's indoor pools around the city, and there's huge places that do that, but we're not huge, and Arctic kind of fills that area because you need dehumidification, you need HVAC, you need all the things that go with that.
Vent the chlorine, like you don't walk in and get smacked in the face with the chemicals.
You got to vent everything, and you have to keep your temperatures constant, and there's just a whole lot that goes into it. And Nate and his dad kind of put together some stuff for us, and then went and put all the installation in. And because of the building and the size, we have actually 2 separate systems.
Yeah, it's around
the pool has one system, and it's got all of its components, and then the front half where the parents and the offices and things are, it has a completely different system.
You don't want the office to be 90, but you want the pool area to be 90, so it's not so cold. So you had to had to balance that.
Was that a challenge, Nate?
It was. It was. It took a little while to calibrate it in too. I mean, the first couple of weeks were like, "Ooh, okay, we need to make some adjustments here and maybe make these changes and just work."
And there's still days. I mean, when it got down 10 degree, 10 below for a week straight, we were.
It takes a lot of time.
We were, we were fighting that one, and it wasn't an HVAC problem. It was just
the math.
It
Yeah.
gets so much
Physics
condensation and everything else. But the system's held up well. We've been real happy with it.
Yeah, it's been neat.
Well, awesome.
That's great.
They did a great job building it.
Ben, for anyone watching, where can they get more information about Tiny Fins?
TinyFinsSurvivalSwim.com is our website. We've also got Facebook, Instagram, all the social media things, and there's emails and things you can reach out to us that way.
And Nathan,
Awesome. And Nate?
Arctic.
ArcticFoodInc.com or 1501 South Enterprise. Just come
Stop by. They have good stuff that I got from my kitchen. I love it. So.
And his kitchen is very, very beautiful
I
and
love
nice.
it. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. I'll be back with a rave review right after this. I did get my wok from my gas stove at